So, ladies and gentlemen, the fact of the matter is, though, it's not sufficient just to deal with this crisis. We need to end the policies and the philosophies that got us into this crisis. That means fundamental change, wholesale change. We can't go back to the way this administration has been doing business for the last 8 years. Nowhere is that more urgent than how we treat our senior citizens. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been told that there are a number of senior citizens who've made the trip here. I know there's not a single woman in here that's a senior, but all those guys who, like me, are now called senior citizens, raise your hand, stand up. Imagine, guys, imagine if they have had their way. Imagine that if they had had their way on the issues that I'm about to speak to. You know, when I was elected to the Senate, I used to be the kid in the room. I was elected when I was 29 years old to the United States Senate. I literally had trouble getting on the Senate elevators because they thought that literally I was a page. They didn't think, because I wore a blue, true story, because I wore a blue suit like all senators wore, right? But pages wore blue suits too. I don't think they thought I was a page, but they thought I was a hired elevator operator. But ladies and gentlemen, I just want you to know, it's a very important thing for you to know. There are only 4 senators in the United States Senate who are more senior to me, have been there longer than me. But I really want you, particularly some of you in the front row here, I want you to understand there are still 39 senators older than me. That's the, if you leave with no other thing, if there's nothing else to remember, remember there are 39 guys older than Biden in the United States Senate. But look, folks, I do want to focus on the plight and the needs of American seniors for a moment. My mom is 91 years old. She lives with me. She still runs the show. Some of you saw her on television at the convention. If you had any doubt about it, all you had to do is look at her. But, folks, it's a question, the question we talk about in terms of policy terms. You know, we have these policy differences. I don't view them that way. I view them as differences based on our values. How we have very different values than the McCain-Palin ticket does. Not bad or good, just different value set. Do we value the people who have put their entire lifetime to work to build this country? Do we believe they deserve retirement, not just retirement, but retirement with dignity, with some respect? Where I come from in Scranton, it's about the dignity of your work. It's about the respect people show for you and where you stand and where you sit. Ladies and gentlemen, take Social Security. When George Bush wanted to privatize Social Security, John McCain campaigned hard with him around the country to privatize it. John even said that the way Social Security was funded was, quote, an absolute disgrace, end of quote. Social Security is a compact, folks. It's a simple, back to the value question, a simple contact between generations. So when you say that the way it's funded is an absolute disgrace, either you don't understand it or you don't support it, one of the two. And ladies and gentlemen, when a president who understands and supports Social Security is in the White House, you're not going to have to worry. You're not going to have to worry that we're going to continue this onslaught on seniors. Ladies and gentlemen, could you imagine, just imagine, close your eyes and imagine where my mother and seniors in this room and in this county and in this state would be today if, in fact, George Bush has succeeded with John McCain in privatizing Social Security with your money in the stock market today. I mean, literally. This is not a stretch. This is not a stretch. Imagine where it would be today. Let me tell you, there wouldn't be a whole lot of people in the Social Security system still. I can't make this any more clear. Barack Obama and I will absolutely guarantee you, take it to your pillow, not your bank, take it to the bank, that we will not, under any circumstance, privatize Social Security, period. We will not raise the retirement age on Social Security, but we will work with Congress to strengthen it for our children, For those of you who are seniors, the Social Security system, because it's not in the stock market now, the Social Security system is good and solid without any change through the year 2042 to 2048. So no one on Social Security today has to worry. Don't let them frighten you. But we do have to fix it for those who will be coming on to Social Security in the mid-2040s and beyond, and we can and will do that. We will work to protect private pensions. We will reform the bankruptcy laws so that when a company wants to declare bankruptcy, they call it reorganization. If they want to reorganize and they wipe out our pensions, your pensions, like they did my friend Billy Myers, who flew for 20 years after being in the Vietnam era, a jet pilot, you know, what'd they do? One day he wakes up, his company declares bankruptcy, everything he's worked for his whole life is gone, and guess what? The guys who ran the company get golden parachutes and more money to stay in the business. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to change the law. We're going to change the law, and we're going to change it really quite simply. Say to the CEOs and the management, if you want to declare bankruptcy, all right, but guess what? Every single penny of your retirement, every single penny of your bonuses, every single penny of your stock options are in the deal too. Everybody in the deal. It's just not right. It's simply not right. It's simply not right. Folks, valuing seniors means that instead of cutting taxes for the wealthiest among us, and by the way, these are good patriotic people. I really mean it, not a joke. You know, the wealthy are just as patriotic and just as decent as the poor and the middle class. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about values. We should be cutting, instead of taxes for them, we should be cutting taxes for seniors who are struggling to afford food, struggling to afford heat, struggling to how they're going to raise the rising cost of prescription drugs. John McCain's tax cuts for the wealthy ignore 37 million seniors who don't get anything. Barack Obama, I have a very simple proposal with regard to seniors. Any senior whose income is $50,000 or less will pay absolutely zero federal income tax. Not a single penny. They will not even have to file a federal tax return. Ladies and gentlemen, for all seniors, we'll strengthen the long-term care options. My mother-in-law is in hospice right now. And before that, her father, my wife's father, had passed away, and hospice was there. Ladies and gentlemen, seniors and families need support and flexibility that comes with long-term care. My mother-in-law and my father in hospice, they had large families to be there. But a lot of families aren't there. A lot of seniors don't have that kind of support. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to improve the quality of elder care. We're going to train more nurses and healthcare workers in geriatrics. We're going to encourage people into the business. We're going to provide for thousands and thousands, 100,000 new nurses by getting them into the system, by getting them paying for their educations. Ladies and gentlemen, these issues, particularly as they relate to seniors, are not insoluble. It's just what your value set is. Look, the tax cut for people who have a minimum income of $435,000 a year, in that category of top 1%, the average income is $1.4 million. As I said, they're good, honorable people. Much has not been asked of them. They're ready to give. They're ready to make the country stronger, in my view. But they're about to get a tax cut this year of $85 billion. Imagine what we could do with one sliver of that to do all I said to deal decently, consistent with our values as a nation, for the seniors in America. So, ladies and gentlemen, these things aren't beyond our ability. They're not beyond our imagination. They're not beyond our capacity. We just have to represent the values we say we care about.